Hi, I'm Danielle Edwards with the Investing News Network. I'm here with Kiran Sidhu, the CEO and co-founder of Halo Labs. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So to start, could you tell me a little bit about Halo Labs?
Halo Labs is a manufacturer of cannabis oils and concentrates. We were founded in April 2016. We actually started the business in a chicken coop during the medical days. And we use the chickens as our sort of guideline on as our butane meters at the time. So we are primarily volatile extractors. We also use CO2 technology and ethanol, as well as proprietary chemical processes when appropriate. Since inception, we've probably now sold over 4.5 million grams of cannabis oils and concentrates, and approximately 50,000 people use our products every month.
Okay, I wasn't aware of the interesting sort of inception of the company, so that's really cool. So I just wanted to ask about the plan since edibles are coming out. What's the plan for Halo Labs with Cannabis 2.0 just on the horizon?
Well, right now we aren't active in Canada. We're in discussions with numerous LPs about working with them in Canada. The interesting thing about, as you said, 2.0 with the edibles coming out and the topicals coming out, if you look at it from a U.S. perspective, topicals we don't do, but edibles represent about 14% of our overall revenue. So Health Canada is being prudent in their approach by bringing the edibles out, and then they'll probably roll out inhalables, which is the substantial portion of the business.
Okay, so what has the response been from investors and how important is investor sentiment?
Investor sentiment is the worst it's been since I've been in the cannabis business, and I've been in the cannabis business since 2012. But just today I'm seeing a lot more green, and I'm seeing a lot more green every day. We had some events. The summer is traditionally very slow because we all depend on retail investors because institutional investors, especially in America, are limited. And there's this old adage, I'm a former investment banker many, many years ago, before I became an entrepreneur at the age of 25. And there's this old adage saying, sell on Memorial Day, buy on Labor Day. So we typically see a dip, but we had some significantly negative news come out with, I'd say the Canopy news, the CanTrust news, some news with Curaleaf and the FDA, which just exacerbated the situation. So I am personally hoping for a recovery in the fall and looking for some good news, as we said, 2.0 Canada, to help with the rally.
And I noticed that Halo's also looking to expand production and operations, in California and Nevada, if I'm correct. And I just want to know what the growth plan is there.
So we're actually active in California. We're producing about 100 liters of bulk distillate and bulk live resin. Our primary customer there is Falcon, which is a very, very large CPG company. I'd say top 3 in the state, and they were just acquired or are in the process of being acquired by Harvest. And we also have other clients, such as Caliva, which is a large dispensary operator in California. And so we're fully sort of operational in California. In Nevada, we're operational, but on a smaller scale. We operate under a production license we're about to acquire. And we have a facility there that's 8,000 square feet, in which we operate about 2,000 square feet. And right now what we're focused on really is getting our cultivation up, because we also have a cultivation license under contract. And once we get that up, that'll be the real key to Nevada, because Nevada is constrained on material. Nevada is not a traditional growing area, so you have to start building grow, whereas in California and in Oregon, they've been traditional cannabis growers for multiple generations. So Nevada is something that's more of a longer-term project, whereas California is growing really rapidly and is the catalyst of our growth. I mean, year over year, we've grown at over 300% year to date, which is the second or third highest growth rate of any U.S. publicly traded cannabis company.
And so, what are some of the other key markets that Halo is looking into right now?
Right now, we're looking at the international market. So 2020 is a big focus for us. And we just announced that we're acquiring our joint venture partner in Lesotho, Buffalo. Buffalo has a 6-acre license in Lesotho. And right now, we're grading the land, we're putting the mothers in place, we're not erecting, but we've just ordered the greenhouses to erect them. So we're there for the summer season, which will be in November. It starts. It's opposite of us, and that is like a big project for us in Lesotho. So 6 hectares. The target is 5 hectares under four-stair greenhouse, and then we have conditional approval to do 200 hectares outdoors. That's 454 acres outdoors. That is a very, very large grow. We've identified a facility that the government is sponsoring, a very large extraction facility. So we'll be putting up extraction. And one thing that's unique about Lesotho is we'll be able to extract CBD and THC under the same roof. And so just what we do in Oregon, California, and Nevada, we're going to be doing in Lesotho for international export under the UN single treaty.
But more broadly, what is Halo's goal in the coming with Cannabis 2.0 and the further international stations or operations?
I think that our goal is we're right now one of the first multi-state extractors. I think definitely we're the only U.S. publicly traded cannabis company that is a multi-state extractor. And our focus, as you said, is we're looking at partners for Canada, but Canada's slowly evolving. So it's really when the inhalables come online and when volatile extraction is permitted in Canada, in our minds, and I believe, speaking to Valens, that they have some provisional approval for that, then Canada becomes, from our perspective, a very large market. It's a very large market now. Take me wrong. In North America, next to California, it's the second largest market. But that being said, if you look at California or any Washington or Oregon, 60% of all sales are derived from cannabis oils and concentrates and growing. Flower itself, for us, is something that people do smoke. Obviously, 40% smoke it as flower or in pre-rolls or in vaporizers like the packs. But that segment of the market, even though it's growing, it's shrinking relative to cannabis oils and concentrates. So we've just kept our heads down and focused on what we're good at, which is making cannabis oil and concentrate products. So we've just focused at what we're good at, which is making cannabis oil and concentrate products. And that is what we plan to do, whether it's in Africa, whether it's in Europe, whether it's in South America. Where we need to do it, we'll do it. But what we view, besides Canada and the US, what we view is that as long as the UN single treaty applies, we really feel that Lesotho is the best place for us to do our international business outside of North America.
And I also just wanted to ask, just for clarification on the term you use, volatile extraction. Could you talk a little bit about that
Sure. Let me explain that to you. So we've been in the extraction business, the 3 co-founders. We were the founders of a previous company called Golden Leaf Holdings, which is still in existence today, but not as an extractor. And we use CO2 technology, we've used ethanol technology, we've used multiple technologies. And right now, volatile extraction, or using butane and propane, which are volatile substances, meaning that they're explosive, is the best form of extraction because it pulls the most cannabinoids out of the plant material. So it's the most broad spectrum, right? It has this stigmatism of residual solvent. But in California, for instance, we test under state law to parts per billion. So there's nothing residual because butane and propane at room temperature is a gas and it inertly evaporates, right? And so it's the best form of extraction because it pulls more of the plant. Also, it's more economic because you lose less of the plant. And then the second reason is when you run a CO2 system or you run an ethanol system, they're large systems. And at Halo, we have two rules. Small machines, small problems. Big machines, big problems. So everything we do are, what I call modularized. The second thing we always say at Halo is whatever technology I use today is probably not the technology I'm going to use in a year. So we make sure that everything we buy and use, we take it with that mindset that we're not going to have it a year from today because the technology is continually evolving.
Interesting. And just finally, if you have any final thoughts about Halo and its future.
Well, I think that our future is definitely, it's a great future because you're looking at a growing market in cannabis, just tremendous growth all around, and you're looking at the fastest growing segment of the market, which is oils and concentrates, right? And one of our peers, Cura Partners, was just sold for $1 billion to Curaleaf, right? So that's what we aspire to do. We aspire from where we are now, say an $80 million market cap company like Cura Partners, to aspire to be $1 billion company and one day hopefully have an exit like that for us and our shareholders.
So this has been a really interesting conversation. Thanks so much for taking some time to talk with me today.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, I've been Danielle Edwards with the Investing News Network.